Nobody should have died.
You see? They can kill any of us at any time. I won't wait a second longer. I am leaving now.
Anything can kill you at any time. Must be aware of that.
You're safer with us than without. And by the way, why are we still bringing this guy with us? That's the thing I don't understand. He keeps threatening he's gonna leave us at any point, but yet he keeps following us for some reason. It's really weird. Oh. Deal with that guy. Deal with this guy over here. I really need to get that one thing that's like you can summon 2 skeleton mages at once, because it's gonna save a lot of essence.
That is not possible.
Yeah, so when I first played this game, this is around the time I stopped playing as my Crusader Paladin or whatever it's called in this game. And I ended up going like, it's taking way too long. This took, by the way, this took me about, I want to say like 10 to about, I want to say 14 is the maximum amount of hours to actually get here. And I was even crafting armor at the exact same time. Like I was crafting armor at every which way level. I was doing pretty much anything to kind of increase my my Crusader Paladin or whatever stats, so that I don't have to worry about being really low level or without being any or there's pretty much no excuse for my character to be at such a like a major disadvantage. I think the only thing that I kept running out of was like money, because I kept buying the what is it? It's the, I don't know what they call it. What is it called? Yeah, I'm gonna have to check all these. But I kept doing the training thing. Yeah, so like I kept doing this. Like I kept going like train, and then 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 I kept doing this up until I got to a certain point. Then I'm like, well, you know what? I think I'm good with that. And then I kept going back into battle or like upgrading my stuff. Then I went, okay, time to go back into the game, and then just kept switching on and off for that kind of stuff. Okay, so this is starting to get weaker now. Alright. I like the blizzard rings, so I'm gonna go and do it. Also, in case you might be wondering, no, you cannot actually double equip a ring. I've already tried it with the blizzard ring. I tried it like, I think I tried it when I made my necromancer, I want to say. I think it's when I tried to, I think it's either when I made my necromancer or it's when I did, oops. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, because I think it was either my necromancer or was when I made my
too kind.
other thing. I forgot it. But I know I did it. I tried it, and it's like you cannot equip the same item twice. And I'm like, aww. And I'm like, well, okay then, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't mad. I was just more so like, I wanted to see if you can continuously stack it, because just imagine if you had like a level 10 equivalent ring twice on like a level 1 character. You wouldn't really need to like keep switching your equipment, especially for rings. You'd have one less thing you need to constantly upgrade. Well, alright. Yeah, because I think by this point, I ended up going back on my Necromancer. Or when I went with my Necromancer, I got, like, a lot of good items. And I think by Act 4? Was it Act 4 or was it, like, Act 5 or Act 20 that we in? I don't remember. But I know it was one of them where I got, like an axe that, like... Well, technically boosted intelligence was not really what a Crusader needed. I'm just gonna say Crusader. Which is what a Crusader needs, but, like, it did, like, even more damage, and I was starting to one-hit enemies on normal difficulty for, like, a level 30... No, not 30, it was, like, 40-something, I think. And I was like, wow, man, I'm dealing, like, so much damage. And the enemies are barely dealing any damage to me, and I'm dealing a ton more damage to them, and I'm just like, wow, this is what I need. Like, this is exactly what I needed. So I was like, alright, this is amazing, this is exactly what I wanted. And so when I know I did this when I finished it on Necromancer, I'm like, wow, since I finished on Necromancer, I might as well finish my Crusader since I'm really close to it. I actually have never seen a playthrough or walkthrough or however you kind of want to word it as for Diablo 3, like at that moment, or any videos about it. Even when this game was sort of, I don't want to say relevant, but sort of when it like first came out kind of thing. I mean, I've heard about it, and I heard it was a really good game, but other than that, that's like nothing. But I think back then, I think it was mostly just a PC gamers, and I heard that like Diablo 3 is better on console or something like that. And I have to admit, I think it's much like just judging by based off of like everything that I've seen and just like played so far. I've not played it on PC yet, or ever, so mine might be a little bit biased, but I find it's a lot easier on console because everything's in your hands. There are some games that you might think it would be better on console, but really it's better on PC. Like, I think I might have talked about this about, I know one series I might have talked about it, but I'm gonna talk about it again because it's a little bit more relevant, because we are on the console where I can definitely say much about it, definitely. Minecraft. For one, I do have it on my Nintendo Switch. I have the Bedrock Edition on my Switch. I just don't play it. There's actually a very good reason why, and there's actually another reason why Craft doesn't have a Bedrock Edition version of it, and that's because it gets rid of a lot of our main controls that we really like. Plus, Bedrock Edition has its quirks that makes it better than Java, but a lot of the things that we like about Java aren't even in Bedrock, so we're like, nah, we don't want it. But back to the topic of Minecraft again, or at least before I started talking about Craft. So I've played Java Edition since beta 1.2. 1.202 I think is the version that I actually started playing. I watched somebody play Minecraft like I think 2 or 3 weeks before I even got it. So when I first saw Minecraft, I thought, hey, this would be a really fun game to play. And I absolutely loved it. I played it from day to night because I was a kid, so I had a bedtime, and I had to go to bed at like, it was at 9 or 10, I think, at that moment. So 9 in the morning is when I kind of got up, and I went till 10 in the afternoon. Minus bathroom breaks, of course, and lunch and dinner and all that stuff. So yeah, so like I played it for a long time and got pretty much nowhere, but still, it's still fun to me. And one of the biggest things that I definitely can say, like right off the bat, is that I quickly learned all of the controls and all that such far quicker than anything because it was on PC and I had it on a laptop, so I could always bring my
I
world
have
with
been
me.
fortunate enough to learn much of the barbarians' complicated history in my time. Yet the origins of these large, mighty warriors are hazy at best. Legend holds that they are the offspring of Bull Kathos, an ancient who embodied their ideals of strength, bravery, and courage.
Sorry, I just wanted to sort of let that go through. So back then, Java was the only version of Minecraft that was only for PC. So console versions never technically existed. Up until I think a few years later, probably when Minecraft went to its version 1.0 pretty much, instead of sticking towards the beta. They added the Xbox 360 version and the PlayStation 3 version. Now, I don't remember if those were the first versions of Bedrock. I want to say no, but I quite honestly did not know. And I remember a friend of mine wanting me to play on his PlayStation 4 at around that moment, so I tried it, and I remember being very terrible at it. And I remember a few of my family members wanted me, or at least the sort of the kids sort of thing, wanted me to play on the Xbox. And I remember sort of like showing off a little bit of my sort of Minecraft knowledge, going with like strip mining and all that stuff, going like really above and beyond. Like I think one of them was fooling around with the overworld, picking up flowers and stuff like that. Meanwhile, I'm in the mine gathering iron and smelting it. I made my very first dirt shack specifically just so that I didn't have to worry about too much of anything on the surface. That was the first and only time I've actually ever made like a sort of house thing out of like dirt, specifically the dirt. But that was because it wasn't really my world, so I didn't really care too much about it. So there's that as well. But one of the things that kept happening was that I kept mistaking buttons for other buttons. So like I kept mistaking like the pick button or like the activate or like, you know, to like access your chest and all that stuff. I kept mistaking that button for a different button, so I kept doing that over and over again, and then I kind of said in my head kind of thing, I went in my head and I kind of said, you know what, I don't think this version of Minecraft is my kind of speed. I prefer PC over this. So I never really did get used to playing like a Minecraft on the consoles in general.
I am returning
That's
to
not
town.
it. No, what is it? It's down, okay. So it's over here then, okay. So when I first got my Nintendo Switch, I started hearing a lot of good things about Bedrock Edition. So, well, it was a little bit before that, where Bedrock Edition has these many cool features, and it's cross-platform, so if somebody has like a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, and all that stuff, you can play with them. So I thought, you know what, I want to go pick it up for my Nintendo Switch. And then I found out, it wasn't not that long ago, it was like around that time, right before I even got it from a Nintendo Switch, I found out that if you got the Java version, the Java edition, early on during its, I think it was before Bedrock even came out maybe, you would get a free code specifically just to go play just to play Bedrock. So I thought, oh, that's pretty neat. So I guess I'll go use that and see how well it kind of works, you know? So I used my code, and then I was starting to play it on the PC. Now I had a major issue with it at first, and with the help of the customer support team, pretty much, I kind of figured out what was wrong. Very simple. When I grabbed there was a video about like the best things to do when you first get your Windows 10 PC, and there was like a script code in PowerShell to kindly get rid of all the bloatware and all the stuff you don't really need, or stuff that a gamer kind of thing wouldn't need, or anything like that, like getting rid of like mostly just stuff you wouldn't really need. So I ended up doing that, but apparently, without knowing this, I had two problems. Like trying to go forward. One was that it apparently got rid of the Microsoft Store. No.
You're too late. My servant is already inside your walls, and his hunger is ravenous. He will devour your corpse and those of your friends.
Are you done? Thank you. So after trying to figure out how to get the Microsoft Store back, I found out how to do it. I got well, technically a friend of mine found a way to do it, so he was able to do it for me, and I thanked him for it. And then I had to go get something else as well, because when I got Minecraft, it wouldn't even boot up. Like, it kept